Welcome back to Mustangs Rewind. Nate McKibbon, head coach women's basketball. We're about to watch our senior day game against University of Windsor. Huge game for us as we were battling for a top 4 seed in the OUA playoffs, which would mean a bye in the first round. It would also guarantee home court at least to a semifinal. We had played University of Windsor in the very first game of the season. I believe we lost by 26 points. And I remember sitting in the locker room and we were talking about being the most improved team in Canada by the end of the year. So this was a great test for us after a fantastic regular season. We were 18-2 after that loss to Windsor. So this win brought us up to 19-3. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have told you the outcome. But it was a great test for us to show that how much we had improved. It was a great opportunity for some revenge, and it was a great opportunity to see if we really were one of the top teams in Ontario. So enjoy the game.
However you may be listening, thank you for making us part of your day, and thank you for joining us on OUA TV and Mustang TV for this afternoon's game between the Windsor Lancers and your very own Western Mustangs, celebrating Seniors Night here at Alumni Hall. We are expecting a heavy hitter game today from both the Mustangs and the Lancers. The Lancers and the Mustangs being 18-3 and 17-4 respectively. Western coming off a big W against York University in overtime, and Windsor coming off a win against Waterloo at Windsor. We are expecting a very big hitter game tonight, folks. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you love watching this game. Windsor has the ball possession. Number 10, Kenny, backing down in the post. Out of bounds, Western ball. This is going to be a very interesting game, folks. Western with their 5th in points per game this season, and Windsor being 8th. If you go down the stat sheet, if you can look at the stat sheet, it's unbelievable how close these two are in statistics. This is going to be such a great game tonight. One point of focus is going to be the 3-point game. Windsor Lancers are 7th in the league with 3-point percentage, while the Mustangs are 12th. With Maddy Horst, with the spin and the lovely layup down low. She has been unbelievable at that all season long. We got Clark coming in, blocked. Unbelievable defense by LeBlanc. We are already starting out so well today. Hope you guys are going to enjoy this just as much as I am right at this moment. We got Windsor ball. Owayesu inbounding it to Ignastus. And we have a foul on the Mustangs. Foul will be on number 10, Emma Johnson. That'll be her first foul and team first foul. We have number 5, Eve Owayesu, shooting 2 shots. And as the kids say, ball does not lie on the foul. She misses the first, she's going for a second. And she drains the second. Windsor Lancers are only 15th in the league in free throw percentage, so right about in the middle of the pack, while the Mustangs are 9th in the league in their free throw percentage. Western swinging the ball around to Maddy Horst. She dribbles, she attacks, and we have an offensive foul on the Mustangs, Maddy Horst. I love these OUA referees. They're so consistent with their calling. It could be questionable on whether or not she did push off the player, but I will trust their judgment to the end of the line. Windsor ball. Owayesu dribbling up the court, crosses half. Drives to the corner, to baseline. Trying to pivot, trying to find something. Gives a pass. Lancers can't seem to find anything. They can't seem to draw any fouls either. And that'll be Windsor ball out of bounds on the Mustangs. Inbound by the Lancers to number 14, Kaylee Ignasto. Windsor with a 3-point shot and a miss. Western takes possession and runs up the court. To Taminga, to Horst. Over to Curran, down inside. Just missed it. That'll be out on the Mustangs. It'll be Windsor basketball. Another stat to look at, if you guys can look at the stats. Western is first place in the entire OUA for defensive rebounds, while the Windsor Lancers are first in offensive rebounds. This is going to be an interesting game on who can differentiate themselves and really get a separation on the boards with a steal by the Mustangs. And Maddy Horst comes in, just misses. And a foul drawn by Elizabeth Leblanc. Unbelievable take to the basket. That's how you get in there. You draw a lot of contact, make the physical play. LeBlanc shooting 2 from the line. And she hits the first, drains it. That's the 9th place team with free throw percentage. Unbelievable so far. And she drains the second. We are now 6-3 with 7:30 left in the first quarter. Oyuesu pulls up from the elbow, nothing. Gets her own rebound, but a foul on the Mustangs. That's foul on Emma Johnson. That's her second foul of the game. On the ground foul, Lancers will take it out of bounds. Three-point shot attempt by the Lancers, no good. Rebound by number 12. But stolen by the Lancers after a defensive rebound. And Clark turns around with the jump hook and makes a shot. See, that's it right there with the first place team in offensive rebounds. You cannot let them get second chance possessions. Maddy Horst gets her shot blocked by Kenny. Oyesu shoots it right over, swinging the ball to Ignasto. And we got a low post drive and a block by the Westerns. Out of bounds on the Lancers. Western basketball. Quick substitution here by both the Mustangs and the Lancers. We got a pretty interesting game so far, folks. 6-5 Mustangs have the lead with 6:40 in the first quarter. Maddy Horst casually dribbling up the ball across half, gives a pass to Brett Fisher. Brett Fisher over to Curran. Curran. And we have Ariane Somor with a shot. Lancers looking for some offense, takes a shot from the free throw line, no good. Somor come in, gives a pass over to LeBlanc, back to Somor, down to the post to Curran. Curran looks back to the three-point line to Somor. Somor drives, kicks it to Curran. That's a great play right there as Curran drains the bucket with the assist from Somor. Lancers number 14, Kaylee, dribbling, passes it over to Oyesu. Puts it down low. Brett Fisher with the steal. Now Somor dribbling up the ball, pushing the pace over to Maddy Horst. Maddy Horst kicks it to Curran. Curran with behind the back, two-step, and drains it. That was unbelievable. I wish we had instant replay here. I'd look at that all night long. Clark with the ball, gives a pass, tipped by Somor and stolen by Maddy Horst. Horst to Curran. Curran comes down the court, takes two-step, can't finish at the rim, looking for the foul. Windsor number 3, Clark, dribbling towards the basket, takes 2 steps and draws the foul on LeBlanc. Now we have the Lancers, Clark, shooting her free throws. Shoots one, drains it. Nothing but net. Shoots her second, drains it again. Yeah, Maddy Horst calling the play. Floor general. Pass it over to Brett Fisher. Brett Fisher turns at the elbow, passes it over to Curran. Curran looks down low to LeBlanc. LeBlanc shoots, looking for a foul, but nothing called by the officials. That's number 21, Gucciardi. Pass it over to Oyesu. Oyesu to Dennis. Dennis to Gucciardi. No good. Rebound by the Lancers. That's the offensive rebounds focusing again. And we have a traveling violation on the Windsor Lancers. Mustang basketball. And we have, if you guys look at your screen, we have Nate McKibbon, first-year coach of the Western Mustangs. Unbelievable turnaround this season from one of the last place teams in the league to 18-3 this season. Such a great turnaround. And I hope this future brings a lot more prosperity to this team under his new head coaching position. Maddy Horst drives baseline, looking for a pass, and an offensive foul on Maddy Horst. Mustangs with already 4 fouls in this first quarter to the Lancers 2. Lancers inbound the ball on their own baseline. And we have a little bit of a delay with the officials as they're trying to just fix up the clock a little bit. They are adding 1 foul. It is the 5th foul for Western. Mustangs still retain, the Lancers still retain possession. Ueyesu pass it over to Dennis. Dennis over to Gucciardi. Gucciardi takes the ball, couple dribbles to the net, and no good. And we have a foul on the Lancers, number 12, Olivia Osamulasi. It'll be Mustangs basketball on the baseline. 10-7 currently the score, with 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. So Moore dribbles it over half, passes it over to Brett Fisher. Fisher to LeBlanc, sets a screen. LeBlanc pass it over to Taminga. Taminga looking for Somore in the corner. Somore takes a couple dribbles, takes a look, squares up her opponent. Pass it over to Brett Fisher in the corner. Brett Fisher just rattles around the rim and can't get it to drop. Those are some tough shots. Those will fall eventually. Windsor Lancers, number 13, Carey, pass it down low. And Usamu, just dominant in the paint tonight. Hasn't been able to been stopped other than the traveling violation. Only the referees can stop her in the paint. Excellent defensive possession by the Lancers so far, and it's tipped and stolen by the Lancers. Number 13, Carey. Carey swings it over to Usamu, back over to Carey. Carey to Osamu. She drives down low, just rattles around the rim, can't get it, but rebound by the Lancers. They go back up with it, and no good. Mustangs come up with the defensive rebound. Now some more dribbling, takes a shot from the elbow. Oh, just can't get it to fall. Lancers, number 5, Ueyesu. Trying to run the floor, has to get across half. Oyasamu draws the foul and is going to shoot 2 at the line. Foul is on Mustangs number 5, Ariane Somore. And we have a good line change by the Lancers. Keep their starters fresh as we bring in some of the reserves. Eve at the line shooting 2. Shoots her first and off the back rim. The Lancers have struggled in this first quarter making their free throws. Let's see if it'll change somewhere down the stretch and if they can start making those free throws later on in the game when they actually do count. Maddy Horst brings up the ball over half, trying to set something up. Brett Fisher with the screen. Maddy Horst pulls up and drains it. Nothing but net. Kaylee passes it over to Eve. Eve looks up, gives it to Milani. Milani down low to Olivia. Olivia comes in and draws the foul, gets the and 1 play. Lancers number 12, Olivia Osamu Sali, will be shooting 1 at the line to complete the 3-point play. Lancers get the rebound. Clark coming in, tries to float it in, doesn't work. Olivia gets the rebound and finishes it up. 13-12, Lancers now take the lead. Maddy Horst from 3 from downtown. Maddy Horst said, you guys take the lead, not on my watch. Comes in, takes the lead back. Eve comes in, spins. Doesn't get the basket, goes out of bounds. Mustang basketball. Kamba inbounds it to Horst. Back to Kamba. Lancers already putting up a full court press. But a lovely press break by the Mustangs. Ends with Julia Curran making an easy basket right under the rim. Lancers number 14, Kaylee, dribbles the ball, brings it into the paint, takes a shot, and finishes it. And Lancers back in a full court press. And Lancers end up stealing the ball in the Mustangs half, 24 seconds on the shot clock. Eve swings it around over to Kaylee. Kaylee takes a couple dribbles, takes a look, drives over to the basket, passes it inside to Olivia. Olivia kicks it back out to Clark. Clark shoots, can't get the three to drain. Rebound by Taminga, and Maddy Horst with the ball. Maddy Horst tries, gets the ball intercepted by Eve, and Eve shoots it right down the court, right over to Kaylee, and Kaylee makes the easy bucket in traffic. Maddy Horst gets a screen from Julia Curran. Able to fake the shot and shoot a cross-court pass to Johnson. And it is tipped out of bounds by Clark on the Lancers. This will be a Mustang basketball as we get a substitution by the Mustangs. Emma Johnson will be inbounding the ball for the Mustangs. We have 12.7 seconds left on the clock. There's a 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock tonight, folks. Johnson inbounds it to Brett Fisher, gives it back to Johnson. Johnson looking for something. Kicks over to Julia Curran. Julia Curran drives to the basket, and that is a shot clock violation on the Mustangs. The Lancers will get the basketball with 2 seconds remaining. And there's a correction to the clock. There'll be 3.7 seconds remaining on the clock. And there's going to be a timeout for the Lancers. This is a tight game, folks, 17-17 with 3.7 seconds left in the first quarter. My thoughts on this game are, I think the Mustangs are doing a good job defensively to try to limit the offensive rebounds from the Lancers. Lancers are trying their hardest to just get into the paint and hammer the Mustangs with a lot of fouls. But the Mustangs are staying composed. However, they've been stalling a little bit on the offense. Maddy Horst has been carrying a lot of the load. But let's see how they go forward and make a couple game time adjustments. We'll see you guys right after the timeout. Coming out of the timeout, the Lancers will inbound the ball from their own baseline. Dennis will take the shot from half court, does not make it. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. The score after first quarter, it is all tied up 17-17. This game has been so close. It has been full of drama. And we will see all of you guys right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Alumni Hall, where we have the Western Mustangs playing the Windsor Lancers in our senior celebration night. Last quarter, we had an even 17-17 game. Good battle back and forth between the two teams. And this second quarter, I hope it'll be just as good. We have an out-of-bounds play on the Lancers. That'll be Mustang ball in Lancers territory with 13 seconds left in the shot clock. Emma Johnson passes it in to Maddy Horst. Maddy Horst, couple dribbles. Gets around the screen by Curran. Steps back, pulls up, gets the back rim. No friendly bounce today. Lancers, number 14, Kaylee, dribbles, looks over, finds Clark. Clark passes it down to Eve. Eve cross-court pass over to Kenny. And the ball is stolen by Julia Curran. Curran passes it to Horst. Horst to LeBlanc. LeBlanc to the corner to Johnson. Johnson drains the two. It is a long two. Lancers number 14, Kaylee, passes it over to Clark. Clark looking for a play. There's some movement down in the paint. Windsor's trying to get something going. Kaylee turns, jump hooks, and no good. Rebounded by the Mustangs. Number 6, Olivia LeBlanc, passes over to Brett Fisher. Fisher passes it off to Johnson. Johnson to Curran. Curran back to LeBlanc. LeBlanc drives towards the basket, looking for some contact, but drains the shot anyway. Doesn't need any contact to finish that play. Lancers are trying to slow the pace down a little bit, try to play their own game. They're trying to make a lot work down in the paint for them, but it's not working so far. They're not getting some of the calls they may usually get. And just as I say that, number 12 in the Lancers, Olivia Osamusali, draws a foul and gets the basket. And we have a quick debrief with the referees and the table officials on how many fouls some of the Western players have. And it looks like we're all good, so we are going to let number 12 on the Lancers, Olivia Osumasali, shoot her one shot to try to complete the three-point play. And she drains that shot. Free throw, formerly known and continuously known as the loneliest place on the planet. It is so hard to focus, especially when you have a crowd as volatile and as fierce as the Mustangs crowd. Western trying to make a play down low, and we have LeBlanc with a nice floater from the baseline to make the score 23-20 for the Mustangs. And after a quick play by the Lancers, Mustangs take it back. Emma Johnson trying to beat around the screen set by Curran. She does come to a stop, and she's looking for a play, fights out, pass over to LeBlanc, and there will be a foul on the Lancers, number 12, Olivia Usamusali. It'll be an on-the-ground foul, so the Mustangs will take it out of bounds. The Windsor Lancers are doing great so far in the most recent history with a 4-game win streak. Mustangs only on a 2-game win streak, coming off an overtime win against York just last Saturday. Both of these teams are very heavy hitters in every department. Some of the stats from last quarter: Maddy Horst 3 for 3 from the field, unbelievable. The Mustangs actually were 100% from the field, did not miss a shot. Hard to believe, yes. Julia Curran drives to the basket and draws a foul and will shoot 2 at the line. And that's a good contact drawn by Curran. She understood that she wasn't be able to get around her, the Windsor Lancers defenders. So only way is through. That's the Under Armour way. And Julia Curran will take her time shooting her first shot. And puts up her second and drains it. Lancers Kaylee passes it over to Kenny. Kenny passes it to Clark. Clark does a little hop step and shoots, can't get it to go. Rebound by LeBlanc. Outlet pass to Horst. Horst passes it down low to Brett Fisher, back up to Horst. Maddy Horst drives baseline, looking for a pass, passes it over to LeBlanc, swing pass to Johnson. Johnson for three, just doesn't get it going. But an offensive rebound by Julia Curran, and comes back up, takes a shot, bounces around a few times, and goes in. That's a shooter's touch right there. Unbelievable skills that Julia Curran has and has accumulated over her 4 or 5 seasons with the Mustangs. Lancers, Kelly has ball, pass it down to Samantha. Samantha drives towards the basket, off the backboard, and just kisses it off the backboard, and it goes in. Score 27-24, 6:20 left in the second quarter. LeBlanc drives towards baseline, and a beautiful floater. Nothing but net, up and down. Lancers, Kaylee, pass it over to Clark. Clark back to Kaylee. It looks like the Lancers are trying to space the floor, really trying to set up a play, and that is touched by Brett Fisher. Kaylee passes it out to Clark for three, and the bank is open on a Saturday at 3:30 in the afternoon. Johnson with the ball, takes a jab step, back to Curran. Curran pump fakes and goes through, holds the ball, and just misses it off the backboard. Lancers, Kaylee, driving down, gets a screen, drives right to the basket for an open lane, and drops it right off the backboard. And Maddy Horst looking over to Nate McKibbon, their head coach, for a couple plays as they try to run an isolation play on the wing for Julia Curran. Just can't get it to go. And she looks just visibly frustrated getting up and running back down the court. She wants those fouls drawn, and she's used to those fouls being called, but she's just not getting any tonight. Kaylee backs down on Maddy Horst, and an offensive foul drawn by Maddy Horst. Maddy Horst has done a great job all season drawing those kinds of fouls. She is so poised and she is so patient with offensive players that she knows exactly when to time it, when either to take the foul or she knows when to go up for a block and try to challenge a shot. And as I speak about Maddy Horst, and she just comes in and pulls up from the free throw line and drains it like it's her day job. Eve drives towards the basket, in contact, and drains the shot off the backboard. Unbelievable what these Lancers have been able to do, the grit that they have not to get down on themselves after a few missed shots, and now the game is tied at 31. Maddy Horst passes it over to Samore. Samore over to LeBlanc. LeBlanc looking, cross-court pass over to Horst. Horst takes a jab step and just misses the floater. Lancers number 13, Carey, passed it over to Eve. Eve to Gucciardi. Gucciardi puts up a shot and just off the rim, and Samore comes up with the rebound. Samore calls for a screen, takes it, and pulls up. Long two, just doesn't get it. Good hustle by Samore to try to catch that rebound before going out of bounds, but just doesn't get it. Lancers will take the ball in their own territory, out of bounds. Lancers inbound the ball to number 5, Eve. Eve taking her time across the court, looking for the plays that are being run and the motion that's being run by the Lancers. It doesn't seem like the Lancers have any complete set plays, but look like more that they have a motion set play. Olivia Osamusali with the shot, and it doesn't go. Emma Johnson takes up the court. Samore now with the ball. Pass it over to Taminga. Taminga to Brett Fisher. Fisher back to LeBlanc. LeBlanc shoots a three and just off the rim. No good for the Mustangs, excuse me. And number 15, Dennis on the Lancers, shoots a three, doesn't go. That is not like the Lancers being the ninth being the 7th place team for 3-point percentage in a game. But the Lancers have been playing excellent defense, and the Mustangs haven't been able to get a shot up or a clean shot up for a basket. A little bit of traffic down in the paint in the Mustang zone. But Emma Johnson comes up with it, pass it over to some more to Brett Fisher. Brett Fisher looks and doesn't complete the pass to Taminga, and it gets intercepted by the Lancers. Lancers take a 3, no good. Good hustle by the Lancers, and that is out of bounds by the Lancers. We got substitutions on both teams, and now we have a timeout called on the Mustangs. The score is tied 31-31 in the second quarter. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an excellent game so far. Both teams have been battling it out. And I'd like to think that the referees are just letting them play. The best basketball you could find is when you let players play and you call, yes, the obvious things, but you only call things that doesn't interrupt the flow of the game. You know, especially with the Lancers kind of motion sort of offense. They're always trying to get open. They're always trying to find the open person, slashing, cutting towards the net. It's easy for their flow to get interrupted by calls by the officials. And now these OUA officials are top class, unbelievable people, and unbelievable officials. I would trust them with any game that I have them officiate. And I think both of these teams, the Mustangs and the Lancers, I think they appreciate what they do, right? Referees aren't here to be a part of the game. They're here to manage the game, right? They're supposed to be game managers and allow them to play to the best of their abilities while keeping all the players safe. And as the timeout comes to a close, the Mustangs will take the ball in the Lancers territory. And let's see what Nate McKibbon has drawn up for the Mustangs with 2:04 left in the second quarter. Emma Johnson tries to pass it to Kamba, but it gets blocked by Carey. And it is Mustang ball on the baseline. And the officials got a quick correction with the score clock. There's 13 seconds on the shot clock. Brett Fisher with the ball on the elbow, takes a quick spin and looks off the backboard, doesn't get it to go. Lancers come up with the rebound. Kaylee crossing half court, pass it over to Dennis. Dennis takes a couple dribbles, pass it over to Carey. Carey shoots a 3 and drains it from downtown. Maddy Horst with the quick inbound play. The Mustangs are going to try to get something going here. They really need a bucket. They've had a few empty possessions back to back, and they can't afford to get another one. Ball goes off the leg of Horst, and it is the Windsor ball. The last time these two teams met was back in October of this season, where the Windsor Lancers crushed the Mustangs 94-68. I think the Mustangs here are trying to look for redemption, and it looks like they're on pace to at least make it a very close game by the end, 34-31 for the Lancers. The Lancers are such a composed team, and they're just so gritty, and they know how to play defense, and that's what keeps them in these games. But Mustangs have good tenacity, and I'm sure they'll be in this game as well. Lancers number 21, Gucciardi with the hook shot and doesn't get it to go. Julia Curran with the rebound and takes it up the court, pass it over to Johnson. Johnson to Curran. Curran takes a couple dribbles, looking for somebody to pass, gets it over to Horst. Horst attacks the basket, pulls up, just off the rim, but great effort by the Mustangs. Julia Curran back out to Brett Fisher, and just doesn't get it to go. Lancers, number 14, Kaylee, dribbling the ball, looking for somebody to pass to. Kaylee looking, doesn't get the ball to go, tries to get her own rebound, but can't get it. Brett Fisher comes up with the rebound. Maddy Horst, cross dribble, drives the basket, and just rolls around the rim. And that'll be out of bounds on the Lancers. That'll be a Mustang ball on the baseline. Western inbounds the ball to Maddy Horst and draws the foul. Goes for the end one play as she's going to shoot one at the line. That is the Lancers' 4th team foul of the quarter to the Mustangs' 1. Maddy Horst, excellent free throw shooter. Just drains it. Substitution by the Mustangs. And there will be a timeout called by the Lancers. I think the Lancers, they have 14.7 seconds left in this half. I think they're going to want to take the last shot. I believe they're going to set up a play, head down the court, and just isolate, wait up at the top of the key, and get a clear shot for the end. You really want to end the half with the lead. It is really important that you have a lead going into the second half because it just gives you confidence, right? Especially with the Lancers getting the ball, potentially getting the ball in the second half. If they can hit a shot here, take the lead, and then have possession again starting the second half, would be unbelievable for the Lancers. They'll be in a really great position to continue this lead and build on it. Now for the Mustangs, I think they're doing a great job containing the Lancers, really trying to give them tough baskets, nothing easy, and they're staying composed and not taking too many fouls with, as you can see, only 1 on the clock. The Lancers are going to inbound their ball from their own baseline. The Mustangs only some more guarding up past half court. Lancers set up a screen, pass it over to Carey. Carey shoots a 3, just misses it, but the Lancers get the offensive rebound, and Eve shoots a 3, drains it, and that will end the first half of basketball here at Alumni Hall. I hope you guys have enjoyed this first half of basketball. Both teams doing an excellent job at game planning against the other. This is a really big game of chess that we're seeing unfold in front of us right now, and I'm excited to see what we have in store for the second half. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys really soon.
So going into half, we had a great first quarter, 17-17, I believe was the score after 1. Another tight quarter in the second one. We go into the locker room down 3. To be honest, it was a little bit of a boost of confidence. It was a show of us that we could play with them after not really competing in the first game of the year. We knew that we could stick with them. We had a good game plan. People were playing exceptionally well. We knew it was going to be a hard-fought second half, and the fact that we had great turnout from our alumni, we had a great turnout from some of our fans, that it was senior day and we were going to recognize Maddy Horst, Becky Leblanc, and Julia Curran. We were really looking forward to the second half, and I had a feeling, despite how the third quarter started, that we were going to be in good shape by the time we got to the end of the game.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Alumni Hall in London, Ontario, where we have the Western Mustangs playing the Windsor Lancers. Current score right now, the Lancers lead 37-34 as we start the second half of play. And just like how we ended the second quarter, we start the third quarter, with a Lancers 3-ball. Emma Johnson takes it from the corner, passes it over to LeBlanc. LeBlanc takes a couple steps over to Curran. Curran takes a 3, and it just rattles around. But with Mustang rebound and a turnaround by Taminga, and a good basket. Lancers ball over to Kaylee. Kaylee calling the play, running the floor, drives, kicks it out. And number 10, Kenny, takes a shot, blocked by Curran. And Curran up the floor, pass it over to Horst. Horst takes a few dribbles. Back to Curran. And there is a foul on the Lancers, number 10, Aaron Kenny. That is the first team foul of the quarter for the Lancers. Curran inbounding the ball, pass it over, gets it to LeBlanc. LeBlanc takes the dribble, up, and just misses it. Mustangs are doing a great job challenging every single defensive rebound by the Lancers just to try to get another possession. Lancers take another three, and it's a miss. And it's an offensive rebound by the Lancers over to Olivia, and she bullies her way in and gets the basket. Emma Johnson up the court, just crossing over half. Trying to look for an open person. Pass it down to LeBlanc. LeBlanc takes a jab step and drives baseline, cuts back, and draws the foul. Foul will be on the Lancers. Number 3, Clark. And LeBlanc will be at the line shooting 2 shots. Some key stats from the first half of play. The Mustangs have a field goal percentage of 58.3 to the Lancers 53.6. So a slight edge in that department. And this game is going to be a game of inches and a game of edges. Statistically speaking, the Mustangs are a little bit higher ranked with one more win, better free throw percentage, better points per game. So statistically, the Mustangs do have an edge in this game. And when the end of this game comes, they might need that edge, and that edge might get them the W. Current score, 43-38 for the Lancers. LeBlanc turns and gets a jump hook and gets it to go. Lancers, Kaylee, pass it over to Eve. Eve with a 3, and from downtown drains it. She has been unstoppable from beyond the arc. And the Mustangs haven't had an answer for her this entire game. Johnson down to LeBlanc. LeBlanc drives baseline, cuts back over to Curran. Curran tries to get the pass to Tominga, but gets it intercepted by the Lancers. And that'll be a foul on Julia Curran. Lancers will inbound the ball at their own baseline. And there's a quick stoppage of play just to get the timing right. We want to make sure that these are all fair plays being done. Lancers, Kaylee, pass it to Gucciardi, pass over to Eve, back to Kaylee, back to Gucciardi. Gucciardi swings it over to Clark. Clark back to Eve. And it is tipped by the Mustangs, number 44, Tominga. It is Lancers' ball on the baseline. Eve with the inbound to Gucciardi. Gucciardi for 2, and it's a miss. And it's out of bounds on the Mustangs. It'll be Lancers' ball once again. And Lancers off the inbound get a basket. Maddy Horst dribbling up the court, crossover half, gives it to Johnson. Johnson takes a look, passes it down to LeBlanc. LeBlanc takes a couple dribbles, sizing up their opponent, and gets a floater, and just hits off the back rim. And we got a foul on the Lancers. So Lancers number 14, Kaylee, gets a foul. That is a third team foul, and the Mustangs will get it on the baseline. Julia Curran inbounding the ball, gets it out to Maddy Horst. Maddy Horst drives baseline, passes it over to LeBlanc. LeBlanc cross passes, gets intercepted by Eve. Eve passes it over to Kaylee, and Kaylee gets the transition bucket. Score is 50-40 for the Lancers. Lancers need to just hold on defensively, and the Mustangs really need a bucket. They need to stop having these empty possessions. Get an easy bucket and just get into rhythm. Julia Curran gets blocked by Lancers' Olivia Osamusali, and it is out of bounds. on Western. It'll be the Lancers ball at their own baseline. Now we have a timeout coming from Western. Your score mid-third quarter is 50-40 for the Lancers. A couple more stats to look at. The Lancers have been shooting 50% from the three. That's just coming out of the half. That's not even mentioning the few that they've just hit. To the Western Mustangs, 25%. Now this differential might be a game changer later on in the game. If the Mustangs can't cut down that lead by the three-point shot, it's going to be hard for them to come back with enough time to take the lead. However, the Mustangs are shooting 100% from the free throw line, which is excellent because if they can get in and draw more fouls, get the Lancers in foul trouble, then they can get their advantage there. The Lancers are only shooting 80% from the free throw line, still excellent. However, down the stretch, it might be a little bit harder to make them. Like I said before, the free throw line is the loneliest place on the planet. It is so hard to focus, especially when you're on enemy territory for the Lancers. So down the stretch, if the game comes down to inches and it comes down to 1, 2, 3 points, and the Mustangs continue to foul, that's where they might find a little bit of grace, and that's where they might find a little bit more prosperity, I'll say, for lack of a better term. Now the Lancers, number 5, Eve, passed it over to Gucciardi. Gucciardi passed it over to Kaylee. Kaylee over to Milani. Milani back to Eve. Down to Gucciardi in the post. She backs in, looking for a shot with the reverse and doesn't get it. Julia Curran comes up with the rebound. Curran over to LeBlanc. LeBlanc looking for a play, calls for a screen, gives it to Taminga. Taminga back to Curran. Curran to Johnson. Johnson for 3, can't get it. Now we have Lancers number 14, Kaylee, dribbling up the court. Over to Eve. Over to Milani. Milani to Clark. Back to Milani. And Clark drives, carries herself, tries to take it, gets blocked by the Mustangs. Maddy Horst gets driving, has 2-3 defenders on her, so she stops. Pass it over to Curran. Curran drives baseline, takes 2 steps, and can't get it off the backboard. The bank's not open for the Mustangs in this third quarter. Eve squaring up, pass over to Milani, back to Eve. Eve pump fakes a drive towards the basket with the Euro step and gets a foul drawn. That foul will be on number 44 for the Mustangs, Morgan Taminga. That'll be the Mustangs' second foul of the quarter, making it 3-2 for the Lancers in the foul department. No scoring lately in the last 30-40 seconds of play. And whoever is going to get this first basket or the next couple of baskets will absolutely have the advantage going into the fourth quarter, because then they're starting to get into a rhythm. I think the Mustangs really need to focus on trying to get these next few, get a couple of easy baskets, and just getting to see the ball go in the net. Right? Once you stall and once you get a little cold, it's really hard to get started later on in the game when it really counts. So I think setting a few different plays, getting easy buckets, drawing fouls, getting free throws in will definitely help them down the stretch. And Maddy Horst gets the inbound. Curran has the ball at the top of the key. Waves off the pass, takes a couple dribbles over to Samore. Samore off the backboard. Still, the bank is not open for the Mustangs. Kaylee dribbling, calling a couple plays, and it gets tipped by LeBlanc, and LeBlanc gets an outlet pass over to Horst. And Horst takes it herself for the easy bucket in traffic. That's exactly what I was talking about earlier, folks. Just a couple easy buckets, get them in rhythm. That's Carey with the 3, and no good. Rebound by the Mustangs. Some more call on the play. Let's see if they can get something set up. Brett Fisher pass it over to Curran. Over to Maddy Horst. Maddy Horst with a 3, and just off the side rim. But shooter's got to keep shooting. She just has to keep shooting those, and she'll be okay. Those things will fall, especially wide open shots. Kaylee over to Gucciardi, back to Kaylee, drives baseline, and there will be a foul on the Mustangs. Oh, and we have a little bit of extracurricular activity going on in the paint. This is getting to be a really chippy game as we go forward. It looks like Brett Fisher was really trying to just get untangled, and it looked like a hold. So the official calls are just going to be a holding call on Brett Fisher and no other technical fouls for the extracurricular activity, which I believe is a good call by the officials. And I think the Windsor coach does have a few words to say to the referee. I think she was asking for a technical foul. You know, the Mustangs really getting up in the players' faces. But I think it was a great no call by the referees. You just got to let them play sometimes. And there will be a foul called. On the Lancers, number 21, Samantha Gucciardi. That'll be their 4th team foul of the quarter. And LeBlanc taking it up the court. Western are setting up two post players on the elbows, maybe trying to look for a little bit more of an open shot or get some lanes open. Carry for 3 and drains the 3-point shot, making it 55-42 for the Lancers. The Lancers are starting to separate here. I think the Mustangs need to call a timeout soon just to try to chill the Windsor Lancers 3-point shot. Brett Fisher top behind the 3-point line. LeBlanc shoots it long 2, doesn't get it. And Kaylee up the court, pushing the pace. Pass it over to Dennis. Dennis with a hesitation dribble over to Kaylee. Kaylee drives towards the basket, shovels it, gets it stolen by the Mustangs. So Moore slows down, lets everybody else get inside the paint. Pass it over to Taminga. Taminga over to Johnson. Johnson takes a screen with a little spin move and tries to get around Olivia. Does not let her go through. Brett Fisher, ball gets down to Samora in the corner. Samora with a floater, doesn't get it. And there is a foul on the Mustangs, number 44, Taminga. Fouls are all tied up at 4 apiece as the Mustangs get a quick substitution in, bringing back in Maddy Horst and Julia Curran. Just trying to keep them fresh, get them off the bench, and they see if they can get some offense going now. The Mustangs haven't scored in a very long time. I think they start getting a couple possessions, and they have to fill these possessions with points. They cannot leave anything empty. Eve with the ball. Over to Carey. Carey down to Milani. Back to Carey for the 3-point, and just overshoots it. Rebound by the Mustangs. Emma Johnson sizing up the Lancers defender. Over to Taminga. Taminga passed it off to LeBlanc. LeBlanc to Curran. Curran waves the shot and goes for the basket. Tries to get the floater. Doesn't go through. Eve takes a couple dribbles, drives to the bucket, and can't get it. Out of bounds on the Lancers. It'll be the Mustang ball. Maddy Horst will be inbounding the ball and carrying it up the court. Let's see what the Mustangs have in store here. Maddy Horst decides to just pull up, and it's just not falling for her in this second half. This halftime really cooled her down. Lancers get it to Carey. Carey drives, and an offensive foul on number 13, Harriet Carey of the Lancers. I think that's a good call by the official. I could see from even my angle, courtside, a little bit of a push off. You're allowed to have your space and allowed to drive to the basket, but you can't push the defender away from you to try to create space. So excellent call by the official. Maddy Horst crosses half and gives it to Johnson. Johnson looking for Curran. Curran gets it, takes a couple steps, and draws another foul. And Curran will shoot 2 at the line. Fouls on number 13, Harriet Carey, on the Lancers. That'll be the Lancers' 5th team foul. Curran's been doing excellent this season, shooting free throws, and let's see if she can continue that streak. As she makes the first one. Doesn't seem to phase her that a lot of pressure is on her right now. Mustangs are down 12, and they really need a comeback at this point. And like I said, loneliest place on the planet. It's very tough to make those kind of shots in these clutch situations. Lancers get it over to Dennis, over to Carey. Carey shoots, and no basket. And there's a foul on the Lancers, number 12, Olivia Osamusali. Windsor coach doesn't seem too happy about that call. She's really questioning why that was called as Osamusali gets off and onto the bench. And that is the bonus now for the Mustangs. So Julia Curran will be shooting 2. Curran misses both of them. And the Lancers get the rebound. Number 14, Kaylee. Over to Carey. Back to Kaylee. Shoots and doesn't get the buzzer beater to go. That's the end of the third quarter. This has been an excellent game between the Lancers and the Mustangs. Score after 3 is 55-43 for the Lancers. We'll see you guys after the break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the fourth quarter action of the Mustangs against the Windsor Lancers. Mustangs, LeBlanc tries to take a floater from the baseline, does not go. Windsor, Kelly passes it over to Eve. Eve gets a couple screens, gives it over to Kenny. Kenny passes it over to Kaylee. Kaylee back to Eve. Eve with the drive off the backboard, doesn't get it. Rebound by Tominga. Tominga over to Horst. Horst drives baseline, pass it over to Curran. Curran looking for some motion by the Mustang players. Horst shoots a 3, still hasn't been able to hit since the first half. Lancers Eve calling a play. Osamusali asking for the ball, pass it over to Clark. Clark. Lancers swing the ball down to Eve on the baseline. And Osamusali on the Lancers gets called for another foul. Speaking of Osamusali, last time these two met back in October in the big win by the Lancers, Osamusali had 24 points, and today she only has 10. So maybe a little slow night for her. Maybe she's not in a groove. Maybe the Western Mustangs defense is disrupting her flow. Regardless, we're expecting big things from her in this last quarter. And as I say that, Maddy Horst draws a foul. Foul beyond Lancers number 10, Aaron Kenny. And Maddy Horst will be shooting 2. And she drains the first. Mustangs dropped off a little bit in the third quarter, shooting 50% from the free throw line. Their total now is 72.7 to the Lancers' 85.7. Hopefully not indicative of how the end of the night will be for the Lancers, but only time will tell. Eve with the ball, guarded by LeBlanc. Pass it over to Clark. Clark takes a couple steps, spins, and a charging foul gets drawn by Emma Johnson. Lancers number 3, Kaya Clark, gets called for the offensive foul. Emma Johnson over to Horst. Horst takes a couple. She gets double teamed down low. Pass it over to Curran. Curran takes a couple steps. Can't get it off the backboard. LeBlanc gets the offensive board and finds Horst in the corner. Horst for 3 and drains it from downtown. Lancers Eve calling the play. Eve over to Clark. Clark pump fakes. Pass it over to Kaylee. Kaylee pass back to Eve. Eve takes a hard dribble and goes for it. Doesn't get it. Rebound by Curran. And is a jump ball call. And the Lancers will retain possession. Back when these two teams met, Maddy Horst, a factor in this game with 16 points, only scored 12. So she has been a huge difference maker in this game, bringing the lead just down to 7. Lancers Eve inbounds it over to Kaylee. Kaylee tries to draw the foul, doesn't get it. Maddy Horst with the rebound as she tries to push the pace up the court. Gets a screen from Brett Fisher. Swings it over to Brett, to LeBlanc. LeBlanc passes it to Curran. Curran with the spin move and just can't get it through, but Western almost comes up with the offensive rebound. The Lancers come up with the defensive rebound. Eve now with the ball, drives towards the basket, takes a quick spin, passes it over to Kaylee. Kaylee takes a jab, doesn't get it to go. And that will be off the Mustangs. It'll be Lancers ball on the baseline. This game has really come down to the top players for both of these teams. For the Lancers, Kaya Clark, Eve Owayesu, and Kaylee Agnosto all three had an excellent game. Kaylee shooting 5 for 7, Clark shooting 3 for 6, and Owayesu shooting 6 for 8 from the field, respectively. And there's a timeout called by the Mustangs. This game has been a tight, really close game. 7-point differential between the two teams. Now the Lancers, I think their game plan is play some defense. Don't get too caught up in the fouls that are being called. A lot of them haven't gone their way in the last couple of minutes, with the foul total being 3-0. But keeping a cool head will allow them to continue and hit shots down the stretch. And now for the Mustangs, I think their game plan is they just need to start flowing offensively. I think they've got the Lancers a bit on their heels. I think it's time for them to attack and really just try to cut this lead to as close as possible, so that when under 2 and under 1 minute come in this game, then they're in a prime position to hit a few threes and take this lead. Windsor will have possession as Eve will be inbounding from the baseline. Pass it over to Gucciardi. Over to Kelly with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. And that's stolen by Maddy Horst. Pass it over to Johnson. Johnson down to Fisher. Fisher takes a quick spin and goes for the reverse. It can't get it to go. Clark pushing the pace, waiting for the rest of her teammates to get down. Over to Eve. Eve calling for a screen and takes a screen. Good defense by the Mustangs as they double team them. And Kenny shoots the three, just can't get it to go. This has been back and forth missed shots by both these teams. None of them could really find an offensive groove to continue in. Emma Johnson over to LeBlanc. LeBlanc passes over the screen, gives it to Brett Fisher. Brett Fisher takes a dribble, passes it to Taminga, can't finish it, but gets her own rebound and draws a foul. Foul beyond Lancers, number 14, Kaylee Agnosto. And Taminga will be shooting 2. Misses the first. Here's a chance to cut the lead to 6. That's textbook shot right there. Carey pass it over to Dennis. Dennis down low to Gucciardi. Gucciardi shoots, but offensive rebound by the Lancers. And stolen by Maddy Horst. Maddy Horst pushing the pace. Maddy Horst almost with the carry, but takes it herself and gets the floater. Just a quick finger roll. That is lovely. Kaylee getting the screen by Carey. This is the kind of matchup that the Lancers want. Shot by Gucciardi, doesn't go, and it's out of bounds on the Lancers. And we got a substitution by the Lancers. Osamu Sali back in the game. Maddy Horst with the ball up the court. Little handoff by Johnson, and Maddy Horst draws a foul. That is the 5th team foul for the Lancers. It is 5-0 in the fouls department. Western has done a really great job staying composed and not drawing any unnecessary fouls in the defensive end. And from now on, every foul, the Mustangs will be shooting 2 shots. Horst misses the first. Now with the chance to cut the lead to 3. And beautiful, beautiful swish by Maddy Horst. Carey has the ball. Carey gets a baseline pass over to Kelly. And Osamu Sali gets the offensive rebound and goes up with it, making it 57-52 for the Lancers. Maddy Horst with the ball. Goes over to the elbow, takes a shot, doesn't get it. Rebound by the Lancers, but miscommunication, and now is out of bounds by the Lancers, and now it is the Mustangs' ball. .14 seconds on the shot clock, 4:40 left in the game. Maddy Horst gets the inbound pass. Oh, gets a little crossover and tries to draw contact, doesn't get the foul called. Kaylee calling the play. Looking for a screen. Quick down screen by the Lancers. Over to Clark. Clark takes a jab step. Pass it over to Milani, a little quick handoff back to Clark. Clark drives towards the basket. And a blocking foul on the Lancers. That's an interesting call to make by the official. The defensive player isn't in the restricted area, so they're not protected from those blocking fouls. So that's a good call as Clark makes the first free throw. And she hits both of them, making the score 59-52 for the Lancers. Maddy Horst setting something up. Lancers really a lot of help defense, and Maddy Horst just shoots over the defense like Kobe Bryant would. Kaylee has the ball, over to Clark. Clark takes a jab step and shoots from 2 and hits the 2-point shot. LeBlanc slowing the pace down a little bit. Pass it over to Taminga. Taminga back to LeBlanc. LeBlanc, swing pass over to Curran. Curran to Johnson. Johnson for 3 and drains it from Brampton, Ontario. That cuts the lead down to 4. Kaylee with the ball. Quick motion by the Windsor Lancers. Clark ends up with it on the corner. Over to Asamasali. Asamasali takes a couple dribbles. Pump fakes, goes up with it. Gets the ball blocked. And it is a Mustang ball. Johnson will be inbounding the ball for the Mustangs. As another quick substitution, Eve is in for the Lancers. Maddy Horst with it. Very calm and collective. She knows exactly what she wants to do. Emma Johnson handoff. Over to Johnson. Down to Curran. Gets the ball stolen. And Mustangs maintain possession. That is a very lucky possession, as it goes off the Lancers. Emma Johnson with it will be inbounding the ball. Western running a set play. Pass it over to Curran. Curran takes a couple dribbles. Hand off to Johnson. Johnson takes a jab. Step back for 3. And drains it from Ajax, Ontario. That cuts the lead to 1 for the Mustangs. Right on cue. Clark takes a 3. Doesn't hit it. Johnson with the rebound. And a quick press by the Lancers. Really tight defense. They don't want them getting another 3. They're going to be pressing up a lot. This is a good time for the Mustangs to try to drive to the basket and draw some fouls. Over to Curran. Curran around the back, takes 2 steps off the backboard and takes the lead for the Mustangs. And we got a quick timeout by the Lancers. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier, folks. Mustangs just need to keep it within a few points, and at this time where they catch fire, they can take the lead. It has been unbelievable just watching them prepare for this moment. So calm and collective, no panic, unbelievable play. Johnson hitting 2 clutch 3s, and Julia Curran with a lovely turnaround floater off the backboard. The bank is officially open for the Mustangs at 4:32 in the afternoon in London, Ontario. And for the Lancers, I think they're just a little bit panicking. They have a little bit of anxiety. I think they just need to calm down. I think they need to keep a level head. They're a great team, and they have a lot of talent when it comes to paint play and a lot of motion plays on the outside. They have a lot of great shooters. I think they just need to find somebody open in order to hit those shots. Those will fall if they're good enough. We have 2:03 left in this game. 62-61 for the Mustangs. There's going to be a quick full court press for the Mustangs as they're trying to limit the inbound play. Windsor Lancers, Clark. Over to Kenny. Kenny down low to Osamusali. Osamusali draws the blocking foul. That would be Julia Curran taking that blocking foul. That'll be the second team foul for the Mustangs this quarter. Foul totals are now 5-2 in favor of the Mustangs. Osamusali misses her first. a chance to tie the game here. It's now 62-62 as there's a quick inbound play, or excuse me, a quick substitution by the Lancers. Maddy Horst with the ball, crosses over half. Little quick handoff with Brett Fisher. Maddy Horst, a lot of push-up defense by the Lancers. They don't want them shooting any more threes. Hand off to Julia Curran. Julia Curran takes a couple steps, drives to the basket, off the backboard and drains it. The bank continues to be open. Doesn't matter which bank it is, Julia Curran is there. Eve with the ball. Pass it over to Kenny, back to Eve. Down to Gucciardi. Gucciardi just misses it and rebound by the Mustangs. A lot of tenacity here by the Mustangs, just digging in deep and getting these rebounds. Out to an open, and there's a blocking foul on the Lancers. Unfortunate timing for Emma Johnson. She had a wide open three-point shot, but the referees decided to call it. The Mustangs have a chance to get 2 points. She hits the first to bring the lead up to 3 for the Mustangs. Chance to extend it to 4. And she hits the 2 free throws. Excellent conversion, clutch by LeBlanc. Eve calling a few plays. She's asking for the screen. Takes a quick cross dribble. Shakes up Emma Johnson. And it gets stolen. And now Maddy Horst with it. She goes for the backboard, and the bank is open for the Mustangs. It is 66-62 Mustangs. This is clutch time and crunch time. Mustangs are coming up clutch for this game. The Mustangs are doing an excellent job just containing the Lancers' offense. Doesn't matter what kind of scheme the Lancers were running, they were continuously just steals, getting the blocks, and not getting too out of hand. The Mustangs are doing a great job, and their offensive game is finally flowing, just like it's been all season. Good shots, good drives to the basket, a lot of motion. Lancers, on the other hand, have panicked a little bit more. They hit a couple good free throws to put it to 62, but they haven't been able to score any baskets since then. I think this crowd is what really gets the Mustangs into it. A lot of big fans here, a lot of young Mustang fans here, making it nice and loud. And we'll see what this last minute has in store for us. And for people who are joining us right now, this is our Seniors Day celebration for our Mustangs. Maddy Horst, 5th year eligibility, game changer for tonight. Scored countless clutch buckets, tremendous defense, and has just led this team. Number 15 for the Lancers, Dennis, with a three-point shot, doesn't get it. And that is a backcourt violation by the Lancers. Mustangs have possession of the ball in Lancers territory with 36.4 left on the clock. Emma Johnson inbounding the ball. This is clutch time for the Mustangs. Let's see if they can hold on to it. Maddy Horst gets it, and there's a foul on the Lancers. Good foul call. Good foul call by the officials, and it's a good time to take fouls right now with 35 seconds remaining. Try to let the Mustangs miss a few free throws and come back down and shoot a 3. And I think that should be the game plan for the Lancers. Maddy Horst has a chance to extend it to 8 and put the game almost out of reach. And she does with the clutch free throw. Eve with it. Lancers looking for a 3 ball. Eve steps back, shoots the three, far off the backboard. Mustangs get it up, and that's a foul called on the Lancers. And Julia Curran will shoot two. Julia Curran misses the first. Score is still 70-62 for the Mustangs. A big turnaround. 2 threes back to back and a couple good clutch buckets by Julia Curran as she makes her second free throw, putting it to 9 points. Eve drives, passes it over to Clark. Clark shoots, just misses. Osamusali gets the bucket and gets the N1 play. That is the Mustangs' second team foul. Osamusali will shoot one. And misses it. And that'll be off the Mustangs with 12.6 seconds remaining on the clock. The Lancers have the ball on the baseline in Mustang territory. Good defense by Julia Curran. That'll be Lancers ball with 10.5 seconds remaining. Lancers over to Eve. Eve shoots a three and can't get it to go. Mustangs come up with the rebound. Julia Curran holds it. LeBlanc has it. Pass over to Horst. And that will end the game for the Mustangs. Big turnaround. That is a clutch win. 71-64. And the Mustangs come up with the W. That is a revenge game after getting beat down the first meeting against the Lancers. 71-64. There's nothing more I can say about this game. Lancers did a great job early on in the game, but the Mustangs had a great game plan coming into the second half. Let's shoot threes, they'll fall, play some defense, let them make tough shots, and keep it out of Eve and Clark and Osamusali's hand. Unbelievable job by the Mustangs. As you can see, as they applaud the crowd, our seniors. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for our senior celebration and our men's Mustang game. More information on any of our games, you can visit westernmustangs.ca. I'm Anthony Tanous, and stick around later for our next game.
So going into the fourth quarter, we were down 12 and had one of the best quarters we had all year. We got a couple of their key players in foul trouble and just got on a little bit of a run there that really pushed our confidence and kept us going all the way through the end. There was a couple plays that were really memorable for me, not only because of what happened on the court, but you could actually see through the W some of the men's players peeking through and cheering us on towards the end. So it was a great atmosphere in Alumni Court, a fantastic way to end the career of three special players who all averaged over 1,000 points. A great way for us to really start our alumni process by presenting them with beautiful framed jerseys and really welcoming into the alumni community. But you couldn't have scripted a better ending for those three players and for a team that really bought into everything we were trying to do. And then after the game, we finished our regular season 19-3 and saw that Ottawa had been upset. So we actually went into the OUA playoffs as the #1 overall seed. So to go from 5-19 the year before to 19-3 and the best record in Ontario is one of the best turnarounds I've ever been a part of. And I'm not sure I've seen many others like it in women's basketball across Canada. So really the end of a special regular season. I couldn't have been prouder of a group of young women ever in my coaching career.